Earlier this morning, I posted a YouTube short asking what I thought was a relatively simple question.
If you had $5,000 to buy and build the ultimate toy car of your dreams, what would you build?
And I'm wrong. Apparently, I was dead wrong in thinking that this was going to be an easy answer to an easy situation. Judging by the comments and the interest in that post, I'm seeing everything from I have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about to I'd spend money on this or I'd spend money on that, but I'd never be able to get the project done, or I'd spend it on certain different things. Chris Lewis says, nothing. $5,000 would almost buy a bare block and a set of cylinder heads. You know, that's fair. I agree with you. It's really expensive to do this stuff now. I would finish my 68 Nova. It's only been sitting for 20 years, says Tommy. Another gentleman would build a 2002 S10. All right, now I think you could probably make that work. My question would be whether or not you could actually find a clean S10 in that kind of price range these days. Use a Holley Terminator ECU, 8.5-inch rear end, 4L80 or 4L60 transmission, and a small block Chevy. You know, I think you could probably get close to a lot of that stuff if you could find a good clean S10 to start from and not get crazy on the engine build for less than $5,000. I think that's possible. JD 440 who said, wouldn't get me started, but wouldn't be able to finish it. Need another zero on the other end of that. Yeah, I get you. I feel you there. 1963 Grand Prix 421 Hurst 4-speed, deep blue in color. Might need an extra $40,000 though. Yeah, I feel you. Nathan says, I would rebuild my 461 stroker in my 77 Trans Am. 3 years ago, I heard it. Thrust bearing destroyed the crank. So he's gonna need a crank and maybe some engine work. I think you could probably get that done for $5,000. And you join me, by the way, in the engine bay of my 1968 Pontiac LeMans. This was initially going to be something that I thought I was going to be able to get up and running for reasonably cheap. I bought it for about $3,000 a couple of years back. It had a engine and transmission. It supposedly ran and drove, and you know, it was in decent shape. I did perform maybe some cardinal sins about buying a car in the rain in the evening, and maybe didn't notice that it's in a little bit worse shape than I thought it was. And upon further inspection, well, if you've been paying attention to my channel, I don't know, I'm like $10,000 deep into this thing. I've got a brand new transmission from Vickers Performance Transmissions. I've got a brand new engine that we're finishing up there at Bob's house. That's gonna have, I don't know, probably $7,000 or $8,000 for the parts and labor in it. So I'm, you know, $10,000 deep into my $3,000 car. But I'm an idiot. And I'm not really very good at budgeting. I'm not very good at spending to a number, to a limit, and behaving myself when I need to. I'll be honest, I'm not good at it. But I know that there are people that are good at this out there. I know that there are people that are very good at being thrifty, that are very good at keeping according to a budget, that are good with it playing within rules and not expanding the scope of the project that they're working on. I just don't happen to be one of them. But occasionally, even I can. And I've done it in the past. My 2500 road trip has been something I've done with a number of years with a number of my different friends. And the whole idea was we go on a 2,500 mile road trip in $2,500 cars. All in $2,500. So other than brakes, wheels, and tires, you gotta buy the car, fix the car for $2,500. And it's a little tricky because you're looking outside of what most people would want to find as far as a project car goes. But there are a lot of options that are out there. There are a lot of chassis and a lot of different things that you can do and be able to build to make something fun and enjoyable that you can go out there. Now, is it going to be the fastest thing in the world? No, absolutely not. Is it going to be the prettiest thing in the world? No, absolutely not. Are you going to be able to have a lot of fun in it? Well, that depends on what you purchase. I'll be honest. It depends on what kind of fun you're in. If you're into drag racing and you want to go fast and you want to go out and compete with the guys, the big dogs right now, no, you're not going to get there. $2,500 or $5,000 ain't going to get you even close. I don't know what it would cost to build a turbo LS like on the cheap. Maybe you can get there for $2,500. Turbo kit, fuel system, ECU, wiring, junkyard 5.3. Maybe you can get there. I don't know. But none of the supporting stuff is going to be there. You're going to be old school transmission, old school suspension, all the other stuff. You're not going to have any money for it. So maybe if you started with a hell of a donor that you got on the cheap, you could possibly pull that off. But it got me thinking, and I actually ended up having a conversation with my good friend Jimmy about this, who went on my last 2500 road trip. And he sent me something that actually really got me kind of considering, and stick with me now, possibly taking on another project, but a budget project with a limited amount of spend. Okay? Let me get out from underneath this, all these bugs, and I'll tell you what I'm looking at and what I'm thinking about. Let me just say straight away that I hate Facebook. I truly hate Facebook. I think it's a massive time sink. It's a huge waste of time. It makes people be their worst possible people. It's also the Facebook marketplace, probably one of the best ways to take money out of an automotive guy's pockets. Because we buy things we don't need. We see things that are on there that we can legitimize buying, and then we take our truck and trailer or a friend and we go buy it. I don't get on Facebook Marketplace. It's not my thing. However, I have a lot of friends that do. I have friends that get on Facebook Marketplace when they're having coffee in the morning, or in the bathroom by themselves, or on a conference call, or on the couch with their wife, watching a girly movie. Whatever it is, just out there on the Facebook Marketplace, searching around, seeing what you should buy, what things are out there, even though you're maybe not in the market. And then lo and behold, you send it to some idiot like me who doesn't have any sense, and then I end up with another vehicle. That's exactly how I ended up with this thing. I didn't look for this. I had already just bought my 1970 Le Mans. I already had my 1971 Le Mans. But I had a friend that sent me this one. Said, hey, you know what you need? You need a third one of those. And me, being an idiot, said, kinda. Yeah, kinda. I do like cars in threes for some particular reason. I don't know why. We'll still figure that out yet. Should probably talk to a doctor. But I ended up going buying this thing. It was like $3,000, a little over that. Local car here. And I bought it for $3,000 because I'm not good at saying no, and I'm good at bad decisions. So here we go. But my good friend Jimmy, earlier today, actually yesterday, sent me something that I would never consider myself. I would never look for myself. Not even on my menu. But it's a cool vehicle. It's clean. It's got a V8. It's got a stick shift in it. It's 80s, 90s cool. It's comfortable. It could be something fun for me. It's got some of the work already done, and it's a clean platform to work from. Also, it's not something that's super in demand. So the price is pretty okay. Now listen, I do not need another project car. If you watched any of my stuff, you know that I do not need another project car. But it could be something interesting to take on a 2500 road trip. It could be something interesting that I could do some interesting content with and have a good time with, and would be an excellent, just cruising around daily driver kind of thing, because I totally need another one of those things. You see how that mind works? You see how that legitimization works? I mean, I'm already halfway there. I've already told Jimmy, talk to the guy, see if you can get it for $2,500. Because if you can buy it for $2,500, Austin, you're an idiot. But the point of bringing that up is there are things that you can do. There are projects that you can work on. There are builds that you can do that you can get in there for $2,500. Now, it does limit the amount of things you can do. You're not going to go get yourself a 1969 Cuda. You're not going to go get yourself a first generation Mustang. You're not going to go get yourself a Cobra. You're not going to go get yourself a Dodge Viper. You're not going to go get yourself a lot of the things that are the big iconic vehicles. A 71 split bumper Camaro that's going to need just a couple of things and it's ready to rock and roll. Those things are out of your price range. But if you open your mind up and you look at things that are outside of the normal, there's a lot of platforms and a lot of things that were out there that American car manufacturers or Japanese or German car manufacturers made that with just a little bit of work could become quite a fun vehicle. That may have been ho-hum to begin with, but they are out there and you can find them. Now, I'm in the Rust Belt here in Central Ohio, so a lot of the stuff that we find here locally is going to be crap. It's going to be rusted to death. It's going to have a rusted roof and rusted floors. There's a hole in the roof there, and you can see actually in the car there. Needs trunks as well. This is an Ohio car. But if you expand your range a little bit and you think about maybe taking a road trip with a buddy in a truck and a trailer, you can find yourself something interesting out there. And I bet you there is a lot of things that are out there that you could actually build for $5,000 or less that would be quite fun, depending on what your definition of fun is. Now, whether that's going in a straight line or whether it's going around turns or going up and down hills or jumping over stuff or whatever it is, your version of fun, it's out there. You just may have to get a little bit different. You may have to get outside the box a little bit. Think a little bit more like, I don't know, maybe me. Because I like things that are a little weird, that are a little bit different. This isn't a Chevelle. You know, I don't own any of the things that are like the big iconic vehicles. Hell, it's not even a real GTO. It's a Pontiac LeMans, which means it's basically a GTO for a third of the price. See? Smart thinking. I'm telling you guys, there's options that are out there for $5,000 or less. Let's expand this out to this video. For $5,000 or less, what would you buy and build to enjoy it? And part two of this question, what kind of enjoyment would you be looking for out of it? Would you build it as a drag car? Would you build it as a cruiser? Would you build it as an autocross weapon? Would you build it as an off-roader? What would you do? What's your idea of a fun vehicle that you could build as a budget vehicle? I'll be honest, I may end up with this vehicle. I've already told Jim to talk to this guy about it, and if I can get it for $2,500, I'm gonna buy it. And if I buy it, I'm promising you now, Scout's honor, if I buy it, we're gonna do this for $5,000 or less, all in. I'm not gonna spend anything more than that. And we're gonna make something fun out of it. Promise. I'll behave myself. You guys will have to hold me accountable to it. Now, I know I don't need another project, and I'm not looking to buy another project, but it got me thinking, and it's got me looking out of the box, and I've got excited about it. I think that's part of the problem with this whole thing is you get excited about it. You see the potential. You know, it's not that what it is, it's what it could be. It's kind of like women, you know, when they're looking at men. It's not like, you know, they don't fall in love with who you are. They see that man you could be. And then they spend hours and days and weeks and maybe years trying to fix you. They never do. It ends up costing a bunch of time, money, heartache. Yeah, it's really like cars. Guys and cars are pretty similar. Usually a little rusty too. Maybe a little bit squeaky. Anyways, guys, I just wanted to make a follow-up video on the short that I posted because it really got me thinking, and I am very possibly about to make yet another economic bad decision of my own. And I blame that mostly on you guys, because if it wasn't for you guys watching, I wouldn't be doing any of this stuff. I would just be a normal guy doing normal guy stuff on a normal pacing and not considering what my next project is, instead of just finish a damn project and then not have a project. That's how you guys work, right? You get one done and then you're done. Right? That's how it works. Maybe not. Thanks for being here. Let me know what you think. Put it in the comment section below. I want an active comment section on this one, guys. I truly want to know what you think. What would you build with $5,000 or less? Buying it and building it. And what would you build it for? Drag racing, autocross, car show, cruising, jumping over rivers, whatever. Let me know what you think. Thanks for being here, guys. Appreciate it. Hope you have a great day. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you. Bye-bye.